It is Erin Bird here, Dance Studio Strategist, and I am so looking forward to today. So we have been doing Expand Your Preschool program in 2019, 30 tips in 30 days. So the whole month of January, I am going live and giving you one tip to help you expand every aspect of your preschool program. And so if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, let me know that you're here. I always love to know who's with me when I am here live on Facebook. And it is Thursday. It is Thursday. And, you know, yesterday, if you got my live, it was rainy and stormy and when I was traveling, and today it is a beautiful bright blue sky. So the clouds have moved on for now anyway, and it says all next week we're supposed to have rain again, so which is actually exciting for us. But that being said, it can sometimes put a damper on things. So moving on. So today, if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, let me know that you're here. I always love to know who's here. Sometimes Facebook lags a little bit. So I am actually going to, okay, I'm going to get in here so I can see who's with me. So I can see who's with me because it doesn't always show me when I'm on here, which is so crazy to me. But anywho, so today we're talking about when is enough in your marketing of your preschool program. And I decided to go ahead and talk about this. It wasn't my original plan for today, but one of the members of our Teach Preschool Dance tribe asked Erin, so we talked about mobile, going out mobily, and they asked Erin, when do you stop continuing to follow up with a director if they've said they're interested, but you keep calling them or you keep trying to follow up with them and you're not really getting a yes, right? You're not really getting a yes. And so I wanted to talk about that real quick today because I gave the short answer. My short answer was I don't stop, actually. I don't, unless they specifically tell me, hey, I'm not interested, please stop coming by here, or please stop calling, or please stop emailing me. Until they tell me they no longer want to hear from me, I continue. Now, that being said, there's always a strategy to it. Am I going in every single day to the same school? Absolutely not. We don't want to become bothersome, right? But here's the thing. I want to tell you give you a little analogy here. So sometimes we go out to dinner with our family, let's just say, or with your significant other, and you're having a wonderful time, and the waiter or waitress comes and they fill your drinks and they ask you if there's anything you need, and you say, oh no, thank you, I'm fine, because at that moment you are fine, right? You don't think that you need anything else, right? But that does not mean that after you've had a beautiful conversation with your husband, with your wife, with your family, that all of a sudden you aren't thirsty again and you want something to drink, right? So just because I tell the waiter or waitress no right now doesn't mean that later on down the road that I don't want that water, that I don't want that thing. And it's the same principle here when we are reaching out to schools, to studios, to directors. Just because they might not say yes today does not mean that they're not going to say yes down the road, right? And there's so many reasons for them not saying yes today. But when we're tenacious, when we show moxie, when we show, look, we're in it for the long haul. I've got a long haul game plan and you are part of that vision. Then, hey, Heather, I'm so glad that you're here. So when you are part of that vision and you say, okay, look, I'm in it, I want this account, and you continue on, two things are going to happen. One, either they're eventually going to say yes, which is more than likely what's going to happen at some point, right? Or the other thing is they're going to say, we are not interested. It's not part of our process. It's not part of our setup because we, are governed by, let's say, a church board, and they say absolutely no outside vendors. There are some reasons why they legitimately would have to say no. Um, and that's okay too. But until they tell me no, thank you, please do not come back by here. Please do not call. I'm going to keep stopping by, and I tell them I'm going to keep stopping by. I tell them I'm going to keep reaching out to them because eventually they will say yes. So I want to tell you a little bit, another quick little story. So as an example, so I had a preschool that was built probably, goodness, it's been 5 years ago now. Yeah, 5 years ago. And when I first built that center, I went out and visited, and the owner / director at the time, she was just so overwhelmed with opening up a new school. She couldn't actually wrap her brain around adding anything into their program, right? Even though I know we would have taken care of everything, right? But to them, it's too overwhelming. But I told her, look, I'm going to keep checking in on you. I'm going to see how things are going. I want to see how you're growing and how you're navigating through this industry, right? And so I did that. I kept checking in. And then the following year, they were doing so well that they decided to expand. And they actually bought out, hey, Dawn, I'm so glad that you're here. So then they bought out another center that was actually closing. So now they have 2 centers. They have 2 centers that they take care of, they own, and again, go back and say, hey, how's it going? Again, they were themselves, she was in such a growth mode at the moment. That was her focus, right? That was her only focus, was I need to grow my business. I need to get the students enrolled. I need to cover my return on investment, right? I've invested so much money into opening these centers because it is not cheap for them to open a center, to build a center, to even take over a center. It is very costly for them. And so she was in a growth mind state, right? And I totally get that. But again, I let her know, I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you. Look at what amazing things you're doing here in our community, right? And I became her cheerleader and her champion, all while never giving up, never giving up. And when I come in or when I call, it was very friendly. I said, hey, Erin, how's it going? This is what's going on in our world. What's going on in your world? There's a point where the relationship starts to switch. And instead of you being just this outside person who's trying to sell them something, you become, number one, a peer, because you're a business owner and you get it. And they don't have a lot of peers within their tight circle. They have a lot of people who work for them. They have a lot of teachers who work for them. But they do not necessarily have equals. And what happens is they start to see you as their equal. Because one, they see you have the tenacity just like they do, the drive and the motivation just like they do, right, for your business. And there becomes a little bit of a shift. And then eventually they say yes. So that account that I'm talking to you about, it took me almost 4 years to actually get that account. But in those 4 years, they actually ended up opening 4 centers. So now instead of me having 1 center that we serve, we actually have 4. And so it worked out for everybody. The tenacity was there. I knew my long-term game plan. I knew that I wanted them to be part of that long-term game plan. And unless she told me, no, don't ever talk to me again, I'm going to keep on. I'm going to keep on. And so that's the deal. That's the deal, is that you have to keep on. You have so much opportunity out there that we need to seize. But make sure you know what your strategy is long term. And I break it down into smaller bits, don't get me wrong. In these 3 months, I want to secure X amount of accounts, or I want to enroll X amount of students. But if I know long term that school, that brand, is the perfect fit for us to be partners, right? We're really forming a partnership, because yes, we come in and offer a service, but without them, we would not be able to hold classes there. And without their support, we wouldn't enroll as many students. So knowing that this is a long-term plan, a long-term strategy is the way to go into it. Don't go out there every single day. You'll get bothersome. They're not going to want to talk to you. But put it on the calendar. Follow up regularly, right? Even if it's once a quarter, twice a year, something to that extent. Look at the timing that you're going out there and when a good time is to go, depending on holidays and things of that nature. But yes, always following up is the key, and making yourself known. Making yourself that face that they're like, hey, I know you, you're here. I know exactly why you're here. We're going to chat. We're going to become friends, but there will be a shift eventually, and you will get the account. As long as they know you're in it for the long haul, that you aren't going to be here for 6 months and then just leave, because they don't want that for their center either, right? If they're in it for long haul, they want you to be in it for long haul. So sometimes you have to prove yourself that you are in it for the long haul, okay? So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But if you keep leading the horse to water, eventually it will. Eventually it will. And it's the same thing with your marketing for your program. If there's a center that you want, they say they're interested, listen to it and follow up with it. Follow up phone calls today, 4 calls and 4 no's. Okay, so Dawn, I'm going to address that real quick. You know, that was another tip. I'm going to give you 2 tips today. Calling isn't going to work. Calling isn't going to work. You know what happens when someone calls your house, the solicitor calls your house? You hang up on them. You say, no, thank you, I'm not interested. You are being the solicitor right now when you call. So you need a different strategy. And calls aren't what makes it work. Calls aren't what makes it work. Okay? So, you know, think about other ways that you could do that. I'm a firm believer in going out and visiting, but there's a specific strategy in that, and it is one that I teach in the 100K Preschool Blueprint Workshop. So I want you to know that we will go into that into depth. But calling, I can tell you 100% does not work, and you know right now that it does not work. And it's leaving you frustrated and defeated. So if I can give you any advice today, it would be stop calling and go out and visit. Go out and visit, okay? We'll talk more in depth on that. And yes, we talk about this strategy all the time in the 100K Preschool Dance Blueprint Workshop. It's actually one that we go quite in depth with, of exactly what to do, what to say, how to get your foot in the door, and how to get yeses every single time. So I will say, if Dawn is joining me, so I'm so excited. She's going to be in Atlanta with me March 30th and 31st. So if it's something that you are looking for, hey, I really want to launch a mobile program, right? I really want to launch a mobile program. The quickest way to success is to come over to Atlanta with me in March, and we're going to go through all of that. That being said, I've had some people reach out and say, Erin, I just cannot make it to Atlanta. You know, I'm in Australia. I can't make it to Atlanta right now. I had someone in the UK reach out to me and say, I just can't make it to Atlanta in March. You know, what can I do? And so if you cannot make it to Atlanta with me, I totally get that. But I do work with clients one-on-one as well. So you can always book a call. We could talk about strategy. We could see what would be the best fit for y'all. But there's something to be said about coming and spending a weekend really diving in and getting the blueprint, the layout, the plan all laid out for you, knowing exactly what you need to do, every single step that you need to take to become successful and get those numbers and get your program launched or growing it at the rate that you need to. So that's enough for that right now, but y'all got 2 tips today instead of 1. You got 2 instead of 1, and that's okay. So it might be 31 tips in 30 days. So I'm going to leave y'all there. It's going to be a fantastic day, but know that when is enough enough? Enough is only enough when they tell you to stop. Other than that, you need to keep going. Okay, so I'm going to leave y'all there. I hope that you all have a fantastic Thursday. I'm excited for tomorrow because actually I have another really good nugget of info that I want to share with you. It's Friday tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we all kind of survived our first week back teaching. I think everyone is officially back teaching this week. And you know what? We all survived. So I'm so excited about that. I survived. I'm done teaching for the week, but I know some of you still have a couple more days. So I hope that you have a fantastic day. And, oh, I put in the comments for you for Atlanta, the info on that. So if you are interested, click there. If you have questions, of course, I would love to hear your questions. Send me a message and we'll chat more about it. So until then, I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a fantastic day, y'all. Bye.